Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mysore. This is our first ever trip after we've shifted to Bangalore and we took a short weekend getaway to Mysore, and here we are. While our house is still not intact, but we couldn't resist the temptation of taking a trip out when we had a long weekend. So Mysore is a small city in the southern part of India, but despite its size, it's very important from a historical and cultural perspective. It was seat of power of local rulers known as Wadiyars at that time, and hence it is also known as the city of palaces. There are at least seven palaces out here. Obviously, one of them is most prominent, which is known as the Mysore Palace, and we'll talk more about it. Equally, it was also a financial hub because of being the capital of the rulers. So we had a State Bank of Mysore in itself, which was later merged into State Bank of India. So overall, a important historic and cultural city. So how to reach Mysore is the first question. Mysore is easily approachable because of its importance from a tourist perspective. It is well connected through road and rail network. It is about 150 kilometers from Bangalore and a 3 hours drive. There is a very good expressway that has been built, so the ride is pretty smooth once you are out of Bangalore. There is also regular rail connectivity out here. So if you are looking to take that option, there are good number of trains, at least three or four good trains that start in the morning, so they get you in Mysore at a good time. There are regular bus services as well. Mysore has an airport as well, but I'm not sure how is the frequency of the flights coming in. So you could probably take a flight to Bangalore and then come to Mysore. But generally, for people coming out from via flights, don't just come for Mysore. So they'll have an entire South India itinerary, which we'll talk about in separate videos. But for now, Mysore is definitely not a difficult place to reach. Now, once you're in Mysore, how do you travel around the city? There are a number of options, like in most of the cities. You've got auto rickshaws plying pretty well. If you are looking for a car option, you can get a cab for your entire day of sightseeing or tourism. There are package tours coming out from Bangalore as well. So if you're taking that, obviously you don't need to worry about anything. But there are plenty of options to fly around the city. The road network is pretty good, the quality of roads is good. Driving yourself, Google Maps works perfectly. It covers most of the city. Most of your tourist attractions are there on the map, so it should help you navigate pretty easily out there. Next question is, where do you stay in Mysore? There are enough options for every budget, every taste, every facilities that you need. We are staying at this place called Safari Quest, a recently developed facility, but it is built on a jungle theme, out of the city slightly in the midst of greenery. So we chose this one. But if you are solo traveler, there are enough hostels that you can start for about 500 bucks. If you're looking for fancy facilities, there are five-star hotels which could range to 35,000 as well. And I'm sure you'll find something in between. But ideally, we would say for a small family, if you budget for about 4 to 5k, you would definitely find a very good facility out here. So, what all to explore in Mysore? The most prominent tourist spot in Mysore is obviously the Mysore Palace. It is also known to be the second most visited monument in India after Taj Mahal. So that's going to be your first spot. That's definitely something that you should cover. It does not take a lot of time, contrary to what we thought earlier. So it took about half an hour to an hour, depending on how much you get involved in some of the exhibits, but not more than that. Another most prominent tourist place out here is the Vrindavan Gardens, which is easily visited or the best visited in the evenings because there's a musical fountain that runs here. Again, the musical fountain in itself is not as great as you may have seen at other places, but what's important is that came up in 1930s when parks or gardens only meant lawns and plants. That's when someone thought about getting a musical fountain out here. Built on the sidelines of Kaveri River just across the Krishna Sagar Dam. It is a good place to spend evenings, leisurely, chill out, unwind, and have some fun. Other few places that you should also see and we are planning to do are the zoo. It's not again a big zoo, but a good thing if you are traveling with the kids. There is a Chamundeshwari Devi temple out here on a hillock. So again, it's got good views and also that religious aspect to it. So you should try covering that. There's Karanji Lake where you can spend some time boating, again relaxing. So those are some of the things that are important to cover if you are in Mysore. If you got some extra time, there's Bandipur National Reserve, about an hour and a half from here, 65 kilometers is the distance. So you may want to cover that if you are interested in a safari, but definitely have about half a day extra for that itself. And pre-reserve those safaris because they get filled out pretty soon, especially on weekends on and longer holidays. So those are some of the things that you should try to include in your itinerary. We'll give you a detailed itinerary of what all we visited in the description, and also there it would be there on our blog. So look at it. Maybe it gives you some ideas. So that's all about Mysore from our side. Hope you like this video. Hope it provided you some context on how to plan a trip to Mysore, or even at least get tempted to come to Mysore. We are happy to answer any questions that you may have. Please ask them out in the comments or reach out directly on our social media channels. We'll be happy to send out any information that may help. Before you go, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you've not already done that. It helps us with the algorithm on YouTube, but at least but more than that, it helps us be encouraged, be energized to bring more videos, more content, and more destinations from around the world. Until our next video comes, it's sayonara from us, but stay tuned and watch out other videos.